The 2021-2022 NBA season is still in its infancy, but that doesn't mean that we're not already getting some vibes about how the trade deadline is going to shake out. So here is part 1 of our 2-part series where we are looking at 5 trades that will happen in the 2022 NBA trade deadline. Let's get right into it. At number 5, Derek Favors gets bought out by the Thunder if he's not traded first. The Utah Jazz traded Favors to the Thunder right before the start of free agency, including a top 10 protected first-round pick in 2024 in exchange for a 2027 second-round pick and cash considerations. While Oklahoma City can certainly use the veteran center, the deal was primarily done to pick up another first-round pick, this time from a Utah team that needed to shed salary. Going from one of the best teams in the NBA to one of the worst can be a culture shock, although we shouldn't expect Favors to be in Oklahoma City for long. For now, the 30-year-old center is being a good sport while also acknowledging that this may not be a long-term relationship. "I just want to help them out as much as I can, for however long I'm here," Favors said via Justin Martinez of the Oklahoman. "I just want to help those guys out as much as I can and be that leader, that voice for them that they need whenever they need to ask questions or are going through a long season." The Thunder went through a similar situation the year before, taking on Al Horford in a salary dump move by the Philadelphia 76ers that also netted them a first-round pick. Horford ended up playing 28 games for OKC before being shut down after the trade deadline to create more playing time for the young talent on the roster. He was later traded to the Boston Celtics this offseason in a deal for Kemba Walker, another salary dump, who would eventually be bought out. See the pattern here? Favors will be far easier to trade than Horford, giving his smaller contract, although he's not as impactful as a player overall. If the Thunder can't find a trade partner for Favors, look for them to buy the veteran out and let him find a new home. At number 4, teams try to pry Brandon Ingram from the Pelicans. Things aren't going great for the Zion Williamson-less Pelicans. While the star power forward works his way back to the court following foot surgery, New Orleans has begun the season 0-3 with a net rating of -13.6. Rookie second-round pick Herbert Jones has already had to start 2 games with Williamson out, exposing the lack of depth the Pelicans have in their front court. Ingram has done everything that he can to try and carry New Orleans with averages of 27 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists, and a 46.2% mark from 3 after his first 3 games, looking well on his way to his second All-Star appearance now at age 24. If Williamson is out for an extended period of time, and Ingram continues to put up huge numbers for a miserable Pelicans team, the 29 other general managers will smell blood in the water. Of course, New Orleans VP of Basketball Operations David Griffin would be foolish to part with Ingram, who still has 4 years left on his contract and can't become a free agent until 2025. Hopefully, Williamson can make a full recovery soon and get back to bullying opponents in the paint. If not, expect there to be plenty of teams checking on Ingram's availability around the deadline. At number 3, Cavaliers already begin shopping Lauri Markkanen. The Cavs gave Markkanen a 4-year, $67.5 million deal in a 3-way sign-and-trade deal with the Chicago Bulls and the Portland Trail Blazers, a move that also cost them one of their most versatile defenders and best players overall in Larry Nance Jr. While the idea was to add shooting to a roster that finished near the bottom in nearly every 3-point category last year, this was a wild overpay for a player that does little else. Furthermore, Cleveland is so big man rich with Evan Mobley, Jared Allen, Markkanen, Kevin Love, and Taco Fall that Markkanen has started all 3 of his games thus far at small forward, a position he's an odd fit at with a 6'11", 240-pound frame. Of course, this all works if Markkanen shoots the lights out of the ball. Unfortunately, the 24-year-old has gotten off to a cold start, making just 12 of his first 40 shot attempts, including 5 of 18 from 3, giving nearly $70 million to a point forward to shoot, only to play him on the wing and miss shots will have the Cavaliers looking for teams to take on his contract by the trade deadline, if not sooner. At number 2, Grizzlies become surprise buyers. After making the West playoffs as the 8th seed last season, Memphis looked like it willingly took a step back this summer by trading starting center Jonas Valanciunas in a deal that landed at Steven Adams, Drew Bledsoe, and a 2022 first-round pick, among other moving parts from the New Orleans Pelicans. The Grizzlies are still quite young, of course, with John Morant, Jaren Jackson Jr., Desmond Bane, Brandon Clark, Xavier Tillman Sr., Jarrett Culver, and Zaire Williams all still on rookie deals. While trading Valanciunas made it seem like this franchise is willing to be patient, all that could change with a hot start to the 2021-2022 season. Memphis has won 2 of its first 3 games this season, even without Dillon Brooks, who's recovering from a broken hand suffered in an offseason practice. His scoring ranks second on the team behind Morant last year. Players like Morant and Jackson will be untouchable during trade talks, but Memphis has a lot of other young talent and 3 first-round picks in 2022 to offer up in deals to land win-now help. Don't be surprised if the Grizzlies stay in the West playoff picture and become buyers at the deadline. At number 1, Raptors can't overcome slow start, become sellers at the deadline. Even after a 27-45 finish a year ago and losing Kyle Lowry in the offseason, the Raptors have chosen not to rebuild while hanging on to veterans such as Pascal Siakam and Fred VanVleet. A 1-2 start to the season has shown just how much the Raptors miss Siakam, who is out with an injury. Rookie Scotty Barnes is leading the team in scoring, not a good sign for the team's overall success. Raptors Vice Chairman Masai Ujiri is perhaps the most comfortable front office leader in basketball after agreeing to a new massive deal in August to remain in Toronto. He won't have any problems with job security if entering a rebuild. If the Raptors stumble out of the gate, players such as Siakam, VanVleet, Dragic, and others could all become available. Well guys, thank you all so much for tuning in. Be sure to smash that like button, subscribe to Top NBA, and hit that notification bell so that you never miss a video. See you all next time.